Yeah, I think it does, because I think even though maybe the international team our struggles have been fairly well aired over the years or documented, I think everyone becomes very invested at some point in the week. And as individual competitors, we don't like losing, and I know that's something we do a lot anyway, as playing individual tournaments, but I think it has stung a lot. It's been frustrating a lot. The close calls really sting. The couple times we've really been thumped is very, very frustrating. And, I think in saying all that, I'm the only one carrying any real baggage into this one. I think Hideki probably has felt a bit of both as well, in fairness, but I think the beauty of this one for me is that I see a lot of guys out here for the first time, and when I made the team for the first time, it was like you make the President's Cup team, you come out and win points, it's what you've dreamed of, and that's kind of how it started for me, on a pretty good note, and that's what I think these guys can do this week. So I certainly am not dwelling on anything, and to be perfectly honest, looking back at Melbourne, although that was one that stung for sure, I thought so much changed. The direction of this team changed there, and I think that's carried over. Trevor's embraced that a lot and done an incredible job, and I think we're going to see that continue no matter what the result, but I still remain incredibly optimistic that we have a shot this week. I think there was a clear line in the sand drawn for 19 in our team, so, things look good there. I want it to continue here. I don't see why it shouldn't. I feel very confident in everything that's happened from the preparation side. I come in here, all I've got to worry about is playing some golf, and that's the only thing I can do anyway, so that feels like a really nice place as a player to be. I really am not polluting anyone else's mind with anything other than that. These guys are incredibly talented and relatively unknown maybe compared to the stars of the United States, but they've now been given a platform to show off this week, and I hope they do. Yeah, he's been thrown maybe more curveballs than any other captain with the pandemic, and then the live golf players who likely would have played on this team if they weren't there. So he's dealt with it incredibly well. I mean, that's why he's the captain. He's a really well put together guy. He really embraces the things he does, and he does a really good job at it, whether it's his work, whether it's his captaincy, whether it's anything. I've known him for a long time, and I think he's handled it incredibly well. And he's really, nurtured everybody who's looked like making this team and now on the team into a really good spot this week. I think there are 12 very excited guys playing for him. I think that's very helpful around this golf course, no matter what the setup is here. This is quite a long, demanding golf course. If you are able to be on greens in regulation here, I mean, it's no picnic once you're on the green, but that's a big advantage because it's a lot easier than chipping. So, the biggest thing for our team, it's always the hardest thing to do is to get our guys to peak, and we probably need most of our guys to peak this week to really shake down the American team. And it's a hard thing to do, but like I said, Trevor's worked really tirelessly behind the scenes in nurturing these guys and getting them prepared for what's going to happen this week and the opportunity they have, and to embrace it and to leave nothing in the leave nothing out there. Leave nothing in the tent and put it all out on the golf course. I think we've really gotten over that, to be honest, from 19. I think the structures that have been put in place by Ernie and the assistants there and carried over and evolved since with Trevor, I think I don't feel like we have those obstacles in trying to massage pairings together and find the secret sauce anymore, where I think everything that's going on behind the scenes is making guys feel very confident to play with each other. I don't know whether it's not that we're spending more time together, but it sounds almost corny, but creating an identity for this team has given us all the same kind of language, if you want. Well, it's a big conversation that I really don't think I should enter in at the moment, but it is what it is. I mean, they're doing what they want to do, and the PGA Tour will continue to do what it does and try and put out the best product. Why am I still on the PGA Tour is because it suits me best to be on the PGA Tour, and it's as simple as that, really. This one thing I think I haven't grasped is giving up my entire professional life of trying to achieve these things here and just leaving it behind. I'm obviously not ready to do that. I may never be, as well, to be clear. I just think that seems to be a hurdle that, well, it hasn't really presented itself to me anyway.
As an international guy coming over playing this course in Charlotte, what's it like for you?
Well, we're somewhat familiar with it. I mean, this event has been a favourite on the schedule for nearly 20 years playing here. Seen a lot of changes here, but it's always been incredibly supported. I think it's a very, very worthy candidate for such a big event. I'm sure the crowds are going to be massive this week. I think that's a challenge that we've got, but that's how it goes when you play away games. And, for me personally, I look forward to that. But I also feel incredibly fortunate. I've been so supported in the United States for 20 plus years, and I'm appreciative of that. And hopefully some of our good shots are appreciated too this week.
Even though you're an MLB rebel, you still relish being an outsider at things like this, like playing hostile territory?
Yeah, that's what it's about. I mean, I felt we did have an advantage playing in Melbourne. It's been an interesting journey, but Melbourne really felt like we had a home crowd last time, and you have to expect the opposite when you come and play here. And, it's not going to be maybe as cheered on as a regular PGA Tour event, but you have to embrace it. And I think having played in this many times, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how many more of these I'll play, so I'm kind of embracing every opportunity, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, and or difficult. I think I have lots of memories from each one, lots of good memories. It's hard to go past the first time you play, and that was quite a memorable event for many reasons, but I felt like that I can look back at South Africa and say it prepared me for the big stage. And for me, that came soon after it. I won the Players a few months after, kind of being thrust in the limelight, playing with Ernie Els in South Africa against the Americans. And I think this kind of event can really be something that a player can feed off when they get a taste of what the big stage is all about, and then when they're in that position next time in one of our normal events, they can lean back on what they learned here. I was at college, so I was watching in America, and so I didn't get to watch that much. But at that point, the international team, although maybe underdogs, there was a big difference between, I remember a lot of things being talked about, that Americans don't travel, and that's why they didn't do well at Royal Melbourne, and they didn't really figure out how to play the golf course, and I don't really know. That's what I was being talked about, so that's kind of the stuff I remember. But our team was pretty stacked up the top with great players too. And, up until about 2003, things were fairly balanced in this, and it's just not been that way since. Well, I think knowing Trevor so well, he certainly showed how much work he's put into this and how much meaning it has to him, and how deep he's gone into thinking about what he can give us as an opportunity and experience this week. He's gone further than anyone has gone before, and I think he's pushed pretty hard for some help from the PGA Tour to do that as well and create an opportunity and an experience for us that we'll never forget this week, and which feels very good. And he's, just from his speech, you could tell he's thought a lot about what he wants out of us this week. I think I'm leaning into the younger guys because of their enthusiasm and everything. I think it's good for like an old dog like me to see that. And I remember, like I was saying before, when I pegged it up in South Africa, I was a bit of a deer in the headlights, but you just went out and played golf. I didn't know any better, and I kind of got carried a little bit by Ernie, and then some exciting stuff happened at the end, and it was just like I dreamed of doing, as a kid, getting on this team and winning a point. And that's kind of how I feel these guys should be this week. And they really don't have anything to lose at all. And the stage is there for them to completely show off. And I really feel like if we want to push the Americans this week to a place where we can win, we have to really let loose on the course. And I think what a wonderful opportunity that the captain's kind of affording them, that just go for it. I don't think anyone on our team will be disappointed if we all just go for it and it doesn't come off this week. No, I think that before that, again, I've kind of drawn a line in the sand, and I think maybe before that, but I'd be guessing now because I'm not trawling stats, maybe like Trevor is for it. But I think I feel we're coming here better prepared than ever, where we can show up. I don't have to get my head around much stuff and who's doing what, other than am I going to tee off the odds or evens is even kind of all organised prior. It's just get here and get your game in shape and go and do your job, play golf and make a lot of birdies this week. And if we can do that, I think we've got a chance to win. I think only, I mean, I seem to be the veteran the last few years now, Alex. It's getting like that. But I think, I don't feel like I need to stand there and fire these kids up. They're so excited to be on this team. They just need to know they've got the support and of the experience in myself and Hideki, let's say, and then also the assistants and Trevor, if they need it. But you want to run with the excitement while it's naturally there, and I think it's refreshing to see it. We saw a lot of that in Melbourne, and guys really lifted and played out their minds in Melbourne, like better than anyone thought they would have. And I'm thinking particularly of a guy like CT Pan, who threw points on the board for us. And, we need a situation like that this week. So it's really, just letting them run with the excitement and go for it and not hold them back at all. Someone's going to make a lot of money then. On the spot, it's a little tough. So you wanted with driving?
Someone who would be the ideal driver, iron play, short game, and putting.
All right, I'll pick Cam Davis to drive the ball and Hideki's iron play. That's a tough one because Sungjae is pretty strong as well there. So you could have a coin flip on those two. Christian Bezaden, who probably is the best putter out there, and short game, I'm going to have to think through the list. I mean, it's not that easy. I got to put... You've stumped me on this one. I want to put Sungjae in there. I mean, how have I not put this guy on the team yet? But I think almost any of us could get in there. I think generally the level on the PGA Tour is so high anyway, but Sungjae could be almost the ideal match player on his own, to be perfectly honest. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, it's all formalities. I had to stop, being so deep into thinking about it, to be honest. It's not really my job, and it's not really my priority to think about. I don't know. I mean, there's a criteria. If they meet it, then yes. If they don't, then I'll have to figure out how to meet the criteria. Generally, I just hope all that is objective and clear, and there's, it's all fair either way, is what I hope, because I think that's what we've always kind of thought golf stands for. Yeah, I don't think it does, to be honest. I think I can do it, but I think having support around is really helpful, and so that's a good thing for this week. And I think the best thing I can do this week is lead by winning points, and I remember, when I played with Ernie as a rookie, he had it so under control on the course. He knew what he was doing out there. He had the experience, and he was one of the best players in the world. And I feel like, I'd like to be that guy this week for anybody I play with.
What are your favorite upsets in all of sport?
In all of sport? Oh, man. Okay, yeah. The America's Cup. What, in 83? When I was 3? Gosh, man, that's a big one. Throw something at me.
Trevor said 95 Rugby World Cup is South Africa.
Won, yeah, and they won. Yeah, it's a big upset. Anytime the All Blacks are beaten is kind of a big upset. Lately, a lot. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, I mean they're shock wins for sure. Is this going to rank up there? Is that where we're going with this? Like, will it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, personally, I don't think. I'm not going that deep to see it. I know there's a good story in there for you somewhere, but. I heard a quick snippet of Trevor talk before in here, and, this group of guys on our team are elite level golfers. And actually this format should be easier for us to get a win over 18 holes. It's not 72 holes against a better team. There's less holes for us to get on top of these top players. It's a little bit of a sprint. Like I said before, the biggest thing that Trevor and anybody in our team can do is help our guys get to the first tee ready to tee off and hit a couple good shots and get up early and go from there, because it is a sprint. And I think, like I said before, they are elite golfers. They're not slouches. I know the Americans are red hot, but these guys are very good too, and I was really impressed playing here with them casually a few weeks ago. The talent level is there, and something like this, if one of them finds that belief out there, hits the shot at the right time or holds a putt at the right time, it really could kickstart them this week, and also you could see big things from them in the future too. And I referenced Scotty Scheffler for that, who had a great Ryder Cup last year, and look what he went on to this year. And I think there may be a connection to these events for that, their individual performance later. Yeah, we did. Yeah, there were matches, there was trophies up for grabs, and it was really just to be prepared for this week. I mean, as much as it was for the guys to bond, and it was fun to have a couple dinners together and laugh over some of the shots and some of the stories of the past, have a few questions thrown around. It was nice to treat this tournament like the big event it is and come out and see the course, although not quite as conditioned for the tournament. And then now to be able to come back here and go, well, it's the same course that a few of these guys tore apart a couple of weeks ago. Nothing's changed really. So I think, all this is part of Trevor's master plan in having these guys ready to play their best this week. That's all he wants to do. From the other week, K.H. Lee won every trophy that was up for grabs. So, he went home. There was at least 2. He won 2 for sure. He might have won the cash as well. There was cash too, so he might have taken that as well. What's that? We played better ball, like just stroke play better ball, and then we did play foursome. So it was just like a leaderboard each day. We did okay. I lost on a countback in one of them, and it was a dodgy countback system that Trevor came up with too. It was incredibly unfair. He was making up, what date is it today? So we'll take the odd holes for a countback. Never heard of such a thing. It was fun. It was nice, but, you know, I think we've prepared like a big event, and, you know, I feel like that's had a really settling effect on the young guys to have been out here and be around, see the setup, how big it is out there, and what they might be in for. They've had a couple of weeks to prepare. Okay, you're welcome. No worries. Yeah, how's he feeling? Is he getting whacked at the moment? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's going to knock him around. Cool. Yeah. Good. Well, that's amazing. No, it's the very least. Yeah.